Good morning from beautiful Brisbane, Australia. How are you today? Say good day if you're here and use the hashtag replay if you're here for the replay. I love being able to catch up with you all. How did you go from yesterday's Facebook Live? Did it give you something to think about? It's important that we engage our thinking, and that might sound a bit funny, but consciously listening to our thoughts in order that we know what direction we're taking our whole being down for the day. So think about those conversations you have in your head, or we have them in our mind. You know, one of those conversations on the way home from work, or even just from being out, where we're having an argument with our partner or significant other, people in our lives, family, friends, and we always win the argument in our own mind. But the problem is we don't want to have those arguments to begin with. Okay, sort it through, but let's start being conscious of what our thoughts are doing and where they're going and how they're making us feel. If they're making us feel grumpy and we're coming home and bringing that into our home, do we want to take that into our home? And I talk about this today because we want to look at ways to reduce our stress and increase our self-compassion. So if we want to decrease our stress and increase self-compassion, increase our kindness, the first place we're going to start with that is with our thoughts. All right. So if we're going to have these arguments in our mind, and arguments that we always win, mind you, when we're having the discussion in our mind, we want to be able to be kind to ourselves, understanding that we are going through a process that we need to communicate about. We want to be kind to the other person too, think the best of them. And that's an actual frame of mind that we need to be able to turn around, because when we've come out of very, very stressful families, okay, and that's the minimum for most of us, the toxic and the dysfunction of our families, we haven't actually learned to be able to think in a manner that is, I can be kind. Because we've had to learn to think in a manner is from the perspective of, am I going to be safe? All right, it's automatic, and we've done the video on automatic thinking as well, so look that up. So we have to be very aware of the conversations that we're having with ourselves about what we want for our day. So we want to set our day up with minimal stress and absolute maximum kindness and compassion. So the first thing in the morning we want to do is just spend time in quiet. Now, most of us are doers, so we want to do something. So find a text. As a Christian, we use devotionals, but whatever the spiritual part of your life involves, have something that you can reflect on, a book that has writings that touch your heart, and reflect on that and what it means for your life during the day, okay? And when you do that, you set yourself up with kindness and compassion and mindfulness right at the beginning of your day. And yes, I attempt to do this every day, but I also journal as part of self-reflection as well, which is coming from the neurobiology direction. We need that, all right? We need the self-reflection because part of our brain that hooks up the prefrontal cortex, the primordial, anyhow, I always get it wrong. It's one of those challenging words that don't stick in my mind. And the amygdala need the self-reflection in order that we can connect both sides, all right? So we want to start our day with mindfulness. Also, the night before, we want to set our intent that we're going to start our day with mindfulness, okay? We're going to start our day off gently, with kindness and compassion, and understanding that as we start, when things happen during the day, we go, let's just go back to the peace. I want peace in my heart more than I want to have, somebody confronting me with their own anger, etc., etc. And we do. When we're doing this, we rewire our whole neurobiological, physiological self All right, so it's every small step that we take this time next year is our whole internal self will be different again. I was talking to my doctor yesterday because I go and have acupuncture, and I was saying how it's so challenging when you've had trauma and our whole being, our whole body, we embody that trauma, that to keep going and to keep exercising because you don't see immediate results because we are rewiring our whole internal self. But it's in having the willingness to keep going with all these little things that long term we see results that, as they say in the video I watch, that people sitting on the couch don't have. We're lapping everybody sitting on the couch. So whatever it is that you're challenged by now, know that as you step into creating new experiences internally, it makes a very, very big difference, okay? We're retraining our brain. We're creating new neural pathways, which is just awesome. And on we go. So in that time in the morning, set some really good intentions for your day, because as we do this too, we create a disciplined imagination. So we don't want our imagination running off and literally imagining the worst case scenario all the time. We want to rein it in and say, right, no, I've set my intentions for today. Let's keep going, breathe. I can keep going. And actually, this is one of the things that I did, I don't know, a long time ago now, is I went, no, I'm going to come back to the intent that I've set today, and I'm not going off path. Other people have got to learn to deal with whatever's happening for them. I can be there, I can listen, I can be a good friend, but I can't take on unpacking how they're going to work out the solution to that problem. Because I definitely was, okay, if you do this, this and this, that'll work out. And it would always derail my day. Always, without a doubt, because then I'd go off into automatic pilot and solving problems all along the way. And I realised that it wasn't healthy for me to keep doing this, because then other people weren't thinking about how they can change up their life. There was no responsibility. Other things we can do first thing this morning is slow down. For those who struggle with hyper arousal, so they're always on the go, go, got to slow down, because you want to slow your whole internal system down in order that you can begin to feel what's happening, what's driving that I can't sit still, right? Ask the question and be aware to feel it, where it's happening in your body, which part of your body is the go happening. And if you struggle with the hypoarousal, you want to be able to say, okay, where do I need to set my intent and get up and go? Just Nike, just do it. As I say to them in group, yep, Nike, just do it. Let's do this, okay? Actually, I think I said that to the admins in group the other day. Yep, Nike, let's do this. And we create humour around it as well. Remember to laugh. Oh my goodness, if you get up in the morning and you feel so weighted down, spend 5-10 minutes watching things that make you laugh, and then you're going to feel heaps better, and you're going to get that oxygen flow happening into your body as well. Remember to take 3 deep breaths and slow down. I know with me, my mind could go at 500 miles an hour, and I have literally had to train myself to slow down. 500 miles an hour is survival mode. It's not being here and being present and reducing the stress. If I'm going at 500 miles an hour, guaranteed I'm going to hit a brick wall and go, oh my goodness, everything's just hit me from today. So we want to be able to manage what's happening in our day-to-day life, not be running in the other direction without intent. So we've got to change these automatic habits that we have. I went to a consultation with my youngest son, and we were talking about his ability or inability to trust me. And it wasn't that he didn't love me, he loved me. But what he needed from me was for me to stop organising and just sit and be there and listen. And then the specialist was able to explain to him that I had 3 kids on the spectrum, so I was always on the go and sorting out what needed to happen. You know, like director of traffic, where are we going next, what happened? And so then he was able to understand what my life had been like. And if he needs me now, I just sit and I listen. Absolutely happy to. So sometimes it pays to go and have a third party sit with you so that you can work out how your communication can be better as well. Don't hesitate to sit with somebody, a professional that you trust, in order that we can see both sides of the story. And we're lucky. Look, I think we're lucky that we continue to seek ways to communicate with each other. One of the things that can get shut down in us is our willingness or our ability to communicate and to be stuck on survival. But our willingness, saying, I am willing to sit down and communicate through this, will change everything up for us as well. Not just our internal dialogue, it will actually open up our social environment as well. Okay? Get your body stretching. Listen, if you have to sit down all day, 2 hours is our optimal ability to focus at any one time. So anything after that, we're going to go downhill, right? We're not going to have 100% focus. So what we need to do is go, okay, and I do this. I set my alarm for 2 hours because I get so engrossed in the work that I'm doing. And I go, right, I've got to get up, go and do something else, refocus my brain, all right? Go outside, walk around, go for a drive, go and do something different for 15 minutes to half an hour to have that break so that you're still building that mindfulness and that awareness into what's happening. Okay, where do I need to go? Do I need to refocus in another direction? Do I need to sit down and be kind and compassionate to myself that I'm doing a good job today? I'm here and I absolutely am determined to love my day no matter what. And it does take time to turn all of this around, okay? There's no two ways around it. We can't turn it around overnight because not only are we changing our thoughts, we're rewiring our whole internal system, all right? And we do this, we do it together in group. We're each other's greatest cheer squad. And we also do it as we begin to educate other people. Remember, we're the first ones to have this information. And the more that we can share and educate others, it becomes easier for them to understand what we need, what we're saying we need as well. I actually updated my website yesterday and put some more resources on there for complex PTSD, so for GPs, for family, and more. If you're on my business page, you can go down there and you'll see that I've actually put the link straight to those resources so that they're PDFs that you can print straight off from the page, and they're professional information, and it also has a chart on there where you can track your CPTSD, and that will give you more of an awareness of where you can begin to change things up for you as well. Reduce the stress, increase the kindness. Hi Laurel. Oh, I'm sorry you've been missing. It's great to have you here today. When we've been outside and we've been out doing things and we come home, we want to be able to transition back into home. So take time to just say, okay, I'm home. I want to feel peaceful. I want to reduce the stress. Leave whatever happened outside, especially if you're at work full time, because we can bring that in. And if you are bringing it home, have some structure around what you want to do. Give yourself a time limit about how long you're going to think about it or how long you want to, bring this into home as well. It is manageable, but we do need steps to manage it. Okay, I want you to think about one thing today that you can do to better manage what's happening in your day-to-day life. Write out some steps and be determined that you can do this, because I believe in you and I know that you can do this one step, once a day, and actually increase your recovery to remission journey. Thanks for tuning in today. If you're on YouTube, hit subscribe so you can find the channel again. If you're on Facebook, remember to hit follow, and I will absolutely be back tomorrow morning, and we will share some more information to improve your recovery to remission journey. Bye for now.